Hello there, this is Sam from JustDKFilms, and I'm going to do a little Q&A. I sent out a post on my Instagram at JustDKFilms if you're not following, and I told you guys to ask me some questions about really anything, so today I'm going to go through those questions, and since I don't want to do so much editing, I'm just going to play Mega Minor in the background rather than me having to go text and stuff like that. So, does anyone even know what Mega Minor is? I don't know, but I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first question comes from AFK Production, who asks, can you animate a versus series between all Masters of Elements? So, for anyone who doesn't know, he's referring to the Master of Elements, well, I think he is, but he's referring to the Master of Elements from the Tournament of Elements season from the LEGO Ninjago series. So, we got Kai, Jay, Cole, and Lloyd, but we also had, like, Mr. Paleman, Karloff, and, so on. But the funny thing is, I was actually originally gonna do a versus series between all the Masters of Elements, but before I made Season 2 of my current Ninjago Battle series, I had the idea of getting all the minifigures from the Tournament of Elements and creating some sort of, like, cool bracket thing and make a versus series out of it, The reason why I didn't go through with it is because the LEGO group, they haven't made all of the Masters of Elements officially, like all the minifigures officially in LEGO. So before I made Season 2, I had Kai, Jay, Cole, Karloff, Griffin Turner, and Mr. Paleman, and that's it. That's all I had. I mean, I could have gotten, what's her name? Toxidica, but she was in an expensive set at the time that I couldn't have gotten, and literally for Gravis, I was planning to use the Lego minifigure Snake Charmer because that was the closest I had, and I have one, and I was gonna use it, but thankfully I didn't, I guess. And just recently, or I don't know how recent this is, but just recently, the LEGO group released an accessory pack with Ash and Shade. Like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? And Nero, oh my gosh, Nero, he just popped up recently too in the Ninjago set. My gosh, I have to get these figures myself just because they just look real cool. So yeah, I think you understand. Prior to me starting Season 2 of my Ninjago Battle series, LEGO just didn't make all of the Masters of Elements officially, and I was real bummed about it. So I just didn't try. So instead, I just went with the ninjas, like I did previously in Season 1 and stuff. But maybe in the future I can, if LEGO has, if LEGO makes the remaining Masters, then maybe in the future I can. Alright, so the second question comes from Dark Brick Productions, who asks, tips to make brick films look cinematic? Tips to make brick films look cinematic. Well, my main tip would be to just take inspiration from other films, TV shows even, or maybe even other brick films. Watch movies, watch TV shows, watch stuff that you think has some real good cinematography in them, and think about why a shot in that film was shot in a particular way, because every shot in detail is there for a reason. Filmmakers, when making a film, are very intentional on every aspect of what you, the audience, sees. In the past, I used to watch a lot of movies, and I kind of just looked at these cool cinematic shots and found them really cool and really like, wow, and I would hear from other people like, oh my gosh, like this shot looks really cool, right? And I'm like, yeah, I agree, so I kind of naturally grasped onto like a sense of like what good cinematic shots look like, and I would try to replicate them in my brick films. Sometimes I would kind of unintentionally do them, but they would turn out really good at the end. But when you're filming a shot, you have to kind of ask yourself, multiple questions like, why am I shooting it at this angle? Why am I shooting it, long and not close up? Who or what is in the frame and why is it in the frame? Stuff like that, And every shot doesn't have to be the best looking shot of all time or the best cinematic looking shot of all time. I mean, unless that's kind of what you're going for, but even something as simple as like a medium shot can look great in its own way and, within context. Let's take my recent brick film J-Hap, for example. I won Best Cinematography for this for this video, so you can trust me. So we have this pan shot here, right? And it looks really cinematic, doesn't it? And I was able to achieve that by moving the camera little by little, frame by frame, in order to achieve a nice smooth pan, right? And it looks really good, right? And then there are shots like this, which, you know, they don't look too cinematic looking, but they are. And, you know, something that makes it look cinematic looking is the color and the tone, right? And there are multiple different aspects you need to take into account when you're filming a shot and want to make it look cinematic. So my best tip is to, you know, just watch movies, and maybe even other brick films to get some inspiration on how they did it. And then you can try to replicate that in your own brick film, as long as you put your own flair into it, and that you do it because it's the best way to tell the story that you're telling. Alright, third question comes from Andrew Draws 5, and he asks, any tips on lighting and set design? For lighting, one of the tips that I can give you is tape a piece of paper, or like cover your desk lamps with a piece of paper by taping it onto the lamp. This is a very practical and cheap way to soften your lights and prevent more light flicker from coming into your video. I don't think brick filmers teach this tip enough, so give it a try. I think it'll really help. And as for set design, yeah, I can't really help you there. I'm still trying myself. I'm still trying to, you know, improve on my own set designs, because they're not the best. So I'm still trying to, you know. Yeah. But there is a video that I can link you to. There's a video I highly recommend that you watch that covers on set design, and I find it to be pretty helpful. So I'll link it down in the description, and it's from another brick film called On Beat Man, and I think you'll really find it helpful. So hopefully, at least. So good luck. Okay, fourth question comes from GamerJ Studios, who asks, what camera do you use to film? I use a Canon Rebel T6i. Fifth question comes from Lego Bach H, who asks, 5 favorite brick filmers? Let's see, 5 of my favorite brick filmers. My top favorite has to be Forge Fire 101. I know it sounds a bit cliche, since, you know, that also seems to be everyone's favorite, but really, you know, he is my favorite brick filmer because the quality of his videos are so good. And even with the quality of my videos, I mean, I still strive to be as good as Forrest. I mean, you can tell that he puts a lot of time and care and effort into each and every one of his brick films, and doesn't want to put anything that's trashy. So, and he also was one of the main brick filmers that inspired me to brick film in the first place. So he's definitely my top favorite brick filmer of all time. Other brick filmers that I love are Pants to Hat, Mini Life TV, Mindgame Studios, and On Beat Man. Alright, sixth question. The Brick Bro Insta asks, cinematic lighting? Question mark? Okay. If I try to answer this question, it's gonna take literally forever, because there's so much I can talk about in terms for cinematic lighting. So instead, I'm gonna link another video in the description that you can check out that also talks about lighting. Like what I mentioned earlier, if you want cinematic lighting, take inspiration from movies or other brick films and see how they do it, right? Try to replicate it yourself, and, you know, just be creative with it. I'll give you an example. Literally for my J-Hub film, if you look at this shot right here, where the paralytic comes down to the roof, I built an actual Lego roof above, right? And I built a hole in the middle, right? And then I taped down a full roll of toilet paper onto one of my desk lamps, and I shined it, the light through the hole. And in the end, I was able to achieve a nice shot with some dope cinematic lighting, right? And I really just had to be creative with it. So So yeah, but if there's anything specific that you want me to cover in terms of cinematic lighting, comment below and I may be able to answer. Seventh question comes from Right Brain Studios Official. He asks, how do you do your mouths and what program do you edit the mouths and edit in general? I animate my mouths in Adobe After Effects. I get asked this question quite a bit, and understandably so. So here's what it is. Basically I have a Photoshop file with a set of mouths like already made, pre-made. Then when it comes to animating the mouth, I've kind of memorized this tutorial and applied it to my own mouth animations. But instead of using his files, I use my own. Then it's just a long and tedious process of adjusting the mouth frame by frame whenever the minifigure moves. Back in 2019, I believe, I was originally going to make a mouth animation tutorial, which, I still have all the files to make the tutorial video, but I just never got around to finishing it, and I might not really. I might actually have to redo it because, if I ever want to redo it, but I might have to actually redo it because my voice is a little outdated in that video, I've slightly gotten better at mouth animations, so there's that. And the programs that I use to edit in general are Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, and then Adobe Audition for audio, and then Photoshop for thumbnails and other kind of stuff. So basically the Adobe Creative Cloud suite. I've been using them for a while now, and they're really, really good. Alright, 8th question comes from Bone Crusher 500, who asked, what's your first ever Lego minifigure? First minifigure? First minifigure? Oh. I have no clue. Oh my, I really don't. I don't even know what my favorite minifigure is, let alone my first minifigure. I don't have a favorite minifigure because there are so many good ones, but I have no clue what my first Lego minifigure is. My oh my, I don't know. I'm trying to remember right now. I have no clue. I really don't. I'm so sorry. I'm unable to answer your question. So apologies for that. Alright, 9th question comes from Frankie Lego Photos, who asks, Hey, what is your favorite Lego genre? DC, Marvel, Star Wars. Also, who is your favorite DC and Marvel character? Well, my favorite genre of all time, Lego genre of all time, is Ninjago for sure. I love Ninjago ever since I watched the first pilot episodes of the series. Love it, love it, love it. Out of the three that you mentioned, I would have to say DC. My favorite DC character is Batman, of course, and my favorite Marvel character is between Daredevil and Captain America. Alright, final question comes from the Bricks.official, who asks, what are your future plans for your YouTube channel? Okay, well, I'm still going to continue making brick films, for sure. I have a lot of ideas in mind. I just have to flesh them out. Literally yesterday, I was rethinking about my brick film release schedule because I don't think I'm going to have, time to create everything that I want in the time that I have. I was originally going to, do a Bible Christmas video for this year's Christmas, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time to make it. So I'm pushing it to next year, unfortunately. Or, maybe something might change and maybe I may be able to make it, but predicting it now, I'm like, I don't think I might be able to get it. So yeah, but my main focus at the moment is I'm creating an original Lego Ninjago series that I hope to animate the first 3 episodes before I go to college next year. But I'm having a little bit of trouble writing it, and plus I'm just so busy. as of right now, May 28th. Which is when I'm recording this. My week is filled with stuff that I have to do. My week is filled with summer courses and helping out with ministry in my church, and I'm sacrificing a lot of valuable time right now when I make these extra channel videos, and so at some point I might just have to stop going weekly, because I just really need to use, that time for main channel stuff. So yeah, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. I was really hoping I can go weekly, but yeah, I really need the time to focus on, main channel stuff where, the real thing is at, right? But my main goal for next year, 2021, is to start releasing Brick Films monthly. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time now, and I think I might be able to do it as long as I'm able to kind of backlog, or get a good chunk of the work done on a lot of the videos. So hopefully, but yeah, the goal is to release Brick Films monthly, starting with the first episode of my Ninjago series on January 2021. And I hope I'm able to do it, but I'm not so sure. So I'm going to keep posting updates on my Twitter and Insta, so follow me there to stay tuned for updates and stuff. I have a lot of Brick Film plans and ideas in mind that I really want to do, but it's just going to take a long time. So yeah, so those are my plans. Okay, this just in. I received another question right when I'm about to start editing this. So the question comes from MP Films, who asked, what project has made you the most proud / been most successful in your eyes? Well, the project that I'm most proud of is Jesus Heals the Paralytic in Lego, for sure. I find that to be my best work yet, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. In terms of most successful, I mean, that has to be, my Kai vs. Lloyd video, which has garnered over 11 million views. That's so crazy. I never would have thought a single video of mine, my video, a single video of mine would get that many views. It's insane. I mean, in fact, just my whole Ninjago Battles series in general is pretty successful amongst any other video that I make. I wish JHap was as successful as my Ninjago Battles videos. That would be so cool. But yeah, I never want to release anything that I don't feel proud to release nowadays. If the video doesn't satisfy me enough, it just won't go up on my main channel. Maybe on my extras channel, but just not on my main channel. I'm very intentional and critical on what project is worthy or good enough to be on my main channel. I value quality over quantity, and that applies to my main channel 100%. Therefore, I find JHab to be my proudest work yet, because it turned out to be better than I could have ever hoped. So hopefully that answers your question. Hey. I was just finishing up editing this video until I received another question. So you got pretty lucky. This question comes from Fedora Films, who asked, what inspired you to create Jesus Heals the Paralytic? So back in early 2019, I would say, I wanted to pursue making another Lego Bible video. I made one way back in 2016 on the story of David and Goliath, and didn't really make any more after that. So I created a list of Bible stories that I really wanted to recreate into Lego, but the question was which one should I make first? I had to make sure that it was realistic for me to do, because I knew I couldn't do anything relating to water as much as I wanted to, but I'm just not there yet. And then so I remembered watching a stop motion film called The Miracle Maker. I believe that's what it's called, The Miracle Maker, when I was younger. And I vividly remember this one shot of the paralytic coming down through the roof. And I was so amazed at that shot and just the whole story in general. And that's what inspired me to create JHab. And, made me all right, I'm going to do this story. I still love the story even to this day, because it's a story that really shows what it means to have faith in God. And yeah, I just absolutely love it. and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that the video itself turned out so good, and I have to thank God for just helping me create the video that it is today. Oh boy, that took really long. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you somewhat enjoyed this. I'd love to do another Q&A in the future, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or look out for a post on my Instagram regarding a Q&A, and you can ask there. But for now, that's gonna be all. I'll see you all later. Thank you. God bless. Bye.